Good day, everybody. My name is Kevin Hogan. I'm the author of 24 books, including The Psychology of Persuasion, The Science of Influence. These books have been translated into 43 languages worldwide. Thank you very much for making that happen. In this series of videos, we are sneak previewing the brand new course on questions and stories that are just driven to make success happen. It's hard to screw anything up. If you do what's in this course, it would be impossible to not get to where you're going. This video, questions drive results. How do you do that? I want to give you a fragment, a sentence fragment that I really like. Okay? It's called, "What's the best way to satisfy?" Okay? All right? Now, this is not the question that you ask your girlfriend, okay? You ask a slightly different version of this question for your girlfriend or your husband, all right? But for public communication or for one-on-one with somebody that you're not best friends with, what's the best way to satisfy? And then we are gonna fill in the blank with, for example, shareholders. What's the best way to satisfy shareholders? And I'm gonna shut up. I have nothing else to say now. Because if I'm here to set up an employee retirement plan, or if I'm here to be a consultant, I'm here to be an advisor, you are going to tell me what the best way to satisfy your shareholders is, because you have been to all of the shareholder meetings in the last 10 years. How many have I been to of your companies? Zero. None. I don't know. Okay? So now I'm going to your shareholder meetings for the last 10 years by saying, what's the best way to satisfy shareholders? And then you're going to tell me. And then you're going to say some things along the way, by the way, which are not right. Because you're going to make mistakes in communicating what the best way to satisfy shareholders is, because that's why you have me here as a consultant, is because your shareholders are not satisfied. Okay? So you're going to say, well, Kev, the best way to satisfy shareholders is to show a profit at the end of the year and maybe offer a dividend for people. Okay, that's cool. That's absolutely cool. But I'm also looking for things that have come back to haunt in the past. Like, I'm going to ask a question in a second that's going to be about, like, has there been times when you increased value and the dividend increased and the shareholders were unhappy at the end of the following year? Oh yeah, absolutely. Why was that? Oh, because we got ourselves into public relations problems, okay? Oh, okay. So we're going to ask the question, same exact way, what's the best way to satisfy shareholders? They tell you the answers. And you say, what else? And what else? And what else? And of course, you write down every single answer. You write down all of the answers because they have experienced this, and now so have you. Otherwise, you're just sitting back acting as if you have some kind of a clue as to what they're talking about, which you don't, all right? So if you're not taking notes, you're not paying respect to their experience. Period. And when you take notes, and I take notes to just about every single conversation I ever have that matters in my life. You take notes, you write things down, and if you don't, you've got the pen right there. So the person knows that you want to be taking notes, and you're only not taking notes because they might perceive it as being disrespectful or unusual. But you're ready to do it because what they're saying is important. What's the best way to satisfy customers? Your customers are a little different than my customers. Okay, I went into, I don't know, what was it, about 3-4 years ago? I was out shooting on Thanksgiving, shooting guns, semi-automatic weapons, having a great time with my brother John and my daughter and my son. And so we went out and we were shooting and we were having a great time. And the way that you satisfy the customer who buys the gun at the store is a lot different than the way you satisfy the woman who's going to buy the dress at the dress shop. Okay, so you want to find out, how do you satisfy that customer, okay, typically. Okay, now the person's going to come up with a whole bunch of list of things. They're going to tell you, well, this way, and then I'll say, how else? Cool, how else? Any other things that work? What else works? You've tried something that satisfied people in the past, you just don't use it. What is that? Okay, and what else? And now I've got a solution. Now I've looked at all of the things, and then I can say, of these things, which also caused problems? Oh, that's a great question, isn't it? Because a lot of the times the cure, write this down, the cure creates bigger problems than was solved with the cure. Remember when penicillin was invented? Penicillin, great creation, saved millions of lives, still does today. But what's the big problem that came from the antibiotics, right? The big problem, and of course I'm not saying, by the way, don't get me wrong, if you have strep throat, you take your antibiotics, don't be stupid, all right? But the problem that got created because of the cure was the superviruses, the superbugs, right? Things like Ebola and MRSA and things like that. These are disasters that happen to people. They go to the hospital for a surgery, a simple little surgery, and they come out with a deadly bacterial infection that could take their life. Most people don't know that. So I want you to think about that every time you ask for somebody what the cure is for their customers, because they will have some of those cures for you. And you will have to find out which ones also are the superbugs. Why they don't want to do something that appeared so successful, but turned out to be problematic, okay? What's the best way to satisfy your employees? Now, by the way, most people have taken surveys, like employees. This is the dumbest thing in the world. They hand out little sheets to the employees. They say, what would you like us to do to make your experience here better? And then the employee writes down, oh, I want to be, make more money and I want to be treated more fairly. None of this is real. If you don't behaviorally analyze this, you're not going to get an answer. You cannot get an answer from somebody writing in some information on a survey form. The answer will not be there. I need you, as an expert in your company, to tell me how it is that you satisfy your customers and clients, okay? You don't satisfy your customers and clients by always making them feel good, by being happy or being taken care of, right? Okay? Sometimes we satisfy our customers by making sure they get the result that's going to please the Rolodex in their mind, and there's not one person that will say that to you. But that is the number one reason that customers buy or don't buy your product. Cool? I think that's a good one to leave off on right there. Go back and watch that again. All right, guys, I will see you here next time.